It's movie time, and we're back again with movie time. Hey, everybody! I hope that you had a fabulous weekend, and welcome to our Wednesday movie time. With me tonight, we have, of course, my co-host Arpo. Hey, Arpo, how you doing?
I'm okay, and as you can see, WC is having a ball too.
Yeah, we're apparently joined by WC tonight, also, and we also have my co-host Olaf. Hey, Olaf, how you doing?
Oh, I am doing fantastic. It's been just another great day in the great state of Indiana. So, it's like just been great. Yeah, that's it. Great. That's it.
Yep.
Great. 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 Great.
Uh huh. So you're shaking and baking, huh?
Shaking and bacon. Yep.
All of
Mostly,
that.
mostly bacon because I've been outside. Been outside in the sun all day, and it's just been a lovely 90 plus degrees and a nice, 80% 80 or 85% humidity. Just a lovely day to be outside.
Oh yeah, my favorite kinds of days.
Ah,
Indeed.
See, it's like also, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are in for a treat of three very interesting topics.
But before that happens, I heard a rumor that you got something in the mail.
I did. Yes, we got another fan letter. We did. It's like, and I would like to acknowledge this amazing fan right now. So our fan letter tonight comes from Lou Stark. And Lou Stark says to us from Movie Time, just one moment, and I will open up his exact words. He had listened to the Ron Artsy interview and said, "Great interview, guys, and great show, and incredible guy." Thank you very much, Lou Stark. And definitely we say hi to all of you, and thank you very much. And
Yes.
yes.
yes, Lee Run will be joining us again soon on Movie Time, and we will be having another discussion. So please do keep your eyes posted for that. So that's always a great thing. And as we say before, we love you, fans.
Yes, we do.
It's like we love our fans and love to hear from you. So keep those letters coming.
Yeah, we told you we will embarrass you all on the air every single week by giving you the what up, and giving a special shout out for you. And no, in all seriousness, we really do love it. And it's like, oh my goodness, you rock. So thank you,
Yes.
Lou. And thank you, Anna and Dominic, and all of our other fans as well. It's like, we really, really do love you. And soon
Yes.
enough, our roll call will be big enough that we will have like 2,500 fans. And we will still love you all. Because that's how big and broad our shoulders are of this world.
It will eventually, our the fans will have enough fan mail that it will have to do a show that's nothing but fan mail.
Yep. And that's okay. And if you want to hear that from us, definitely give us a shout.
Absolutely.
And the only way to do that is keep writing us those fan mails. And now, just as also a reminder as well, we do still have a contest, the one from Michael Mendelson. Michael will be away from us for the next month or so, but we will be coming back again. So do keep sending in those submissions to us.
Yes, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep on. We want stuff to read.
Yes, it's like, and don't forget, this could be a scholarship. This could be actually making your movie happen. So I wouldn't blow that opportunity.
No, especially with Michael Mendelson at the helm there. I tell you, you can't ask for a greater guy to work with.
Yeah.
Not at all. Nope.
So, which brings us though also to a very interesting thing of a segue. Our very first article tonight that we will be talking about, an interesting topic. We've talked a little bit about the UK film markets and what's going to happen with the whole Brexit situation. Well, apparently they're rallying around this because the BFI unveils $20 million plan to attract 10,000 new workers to UK film industry. Now,
Yay.
it's like apparently it's not seeming to bother them, the political situation there, because it's like that's $26 million to attract 10,000 new workers. Now, what does that tell us about the UK film industry right now? That they're actually booming.
That's right. And
they,
if you've seen some of what's been coming out of the British film industry lately, you would appreciate very much the fact that they are really putting out some great stuff.
Yep.
Trainspotting 2.
Yes. And what they said is that the British Film Institute has embarked on a $20 million project to attract 10,000 workers. It says in the UK industry desperately needs over the next 5 years to avoid an alarming skill shortage. So apparently we're having a large skill shortage in the UK. Fueled by government tax breaks, the growth in the sector means that there will be 30,000 new job opportunities in the UK film business during the next few years, BFI says. So what's really interesting about this is that apparently a lot of people have did their own version of an exit, or it's like there just hasn't been enough of a turn on of coming into the film industry. I would shoot there in a hot second, but that's me.
I was going to say, for those of you who are sitting out there saying, well, what does that have to do with us? It means right now, England is a really good place to go and make a movie.
It seems that they're very much desiring lots of movies and lots of people to come aboard and work with them.
Yes.
It would almost be worth the move to the UK.
Right.
Absolutely.
People. And what's interesting is they say they unveil a 10-point plan that includes career service guidance, new standards and accreditations, and training of employees by employers, a service of monitoring the industry needs, and identifying skill shortages, mentioning and mentoring the development of programs and the industry professionals. Plans that will draw like a £20 million in national lottery funding over the next 5 years. So that's huge in this industry.
Yeah.
It's basically what they're saying is they want a job initiative, which is funny because certain other places that we have mentioned, Canada, does not want job improvement.
You're supposed to cough when you do that.
Oh, okay, sorry. Do not want that to be the case. And sometimes you wonder with other places as well, but apparently the UK can't get enough.
That's right. And that is why WC is paying homage to the UK tonight by doing his Trafalgar Square impression, except, of course, he's on a tower of peanut butter.
Peanut butter, there you go.
Yes. And not any kind of peanut butter. What kind of peanut butter is he on?
He's on Peanut Butter and Company peanut butter.
He's on the enemy.
Oh no, I should have run and gotten the Justin's peanut butter. I knew it. Well, I've only got one jar of the Justin's, though.
Was it delicious?
I don't know, because I forgot to buy waffles. I got the maple peanut butter, and I forgot to buy waffles.
Okay, now on air, you must taste it.
Oh, no. Okay. WC, you've done your bit for God and country. Now, time to retire. Yes, Lord Nelson retired. Oh.
Yeah, so the UK film industry is also a very interesting one because they offer some very fine tax credits as well to the country. It's like, and you know what? Also, they have a lot of interesting stuff going on with the lottery program. So it's going to be fascinating to see how this actually shakes out. And it's kind of, what is also interesting is that they integrate it as part of their regular employment system. So they don't treat it like a special entity. They treat it as a part of an employment incentive. Which
Interesting.
it's a different approach because we treat the arts here as like a separate thing. It's like nobody gets to the career center and they go, well, have you ever thought of a job in the movie industry?
Yeah, that'll be the day.
Yeah. Or, we're having a shortage of script writers right now. Can you, like, please send.
Yeah. Well, it's because in this country, and I'm talking in terms of education, the educational system now, the arts have always been considered extracurricular rather than being part of the curriculum. And
Yes.
that's actually not true in almost every other country. I won't say every other country, but the vast majority of them include the arts as part of their curriculum.
I'm part of the education system and actually
Yes,
considered a vital part.
yes. Only in the United States do people say, we don't need the arts.
Actually, that's North America in general, which
Oh,
is
yeah,
very.
that's true.
Yes, it's like it's like most countries outside of the United States actually encourage it and open up more academies and stuff like that. Yes, we do have a lot of film schools. We have fine film schools here, but
Yes,
it's the how you're encouraged when you receive it, when you go there. It's like, oh, you went to film school. Where it
yeah,
seems in other countries and other places, it's not the, oh, you went to film school. It's, oh, you went to film school. So it's like you decided that was your career path, not the, so when are you going to have the real job,
yeah,
which seems to be the
yeah.
driven attitude for here.
You know, oh, you went to acting school. Now, did you take all the table waiting courses too?
Yeah. Or the, you decided to be it's like, so what are some of the mistakes that you made in so one of the things that I'm trying to say about that is one of the mistakes that people make is downplaying the arts. The arts are extremely important. They're not
Yes.
only great for the creative side of a child's mind, it is also great for being able to advance. And yes, it is a real career. Do you make money at it right away? In some positions, yes. Other positions, no. But guess what? Is it worth it? Absolutely. So really do think about that the next time that you are like, okay, so what is your actual career when somebody says filmmaker or I work in television or I'm an artist.
Yeah.
That is an actual career. It is a viable industry. As a matter of fact, it's about a $3 billion industry. So, which is more than currently the coal industry
Yeah.
or the even some of the solar heating and energies industries. 3 billion, and people tend to be like, "Oh, you're in the arts, isn't that cute?" So when are you getting an actual job?
Yeah.
So
Oh, as soon as I've finished spending my share of the $3 billion.
yeah, that this industry allots to people, including also box office revenues, and as well as also, and in terms of that, also in terms of employing over 3,000 people per sometimes one film
Yeah.
and television series as well. So, because don't forget all of the industries that benefit from the film industry, things like hospitality industries, restaurants, catering companies that would ordinarily not have a job that otherwise.
Yeah. Hotels, Airbnbs,
Even
they
transportation
all,
commissions.
yeah,
Yeah.
both airlines and also ground transportation.
Yep. Car rental companies.
Limos.
Yep, all of it. It's like there is vast industries that benefit that have absolutely outside peripheral views from the film, but even just them being in the city, it actually brings revenue to businesses that are not even involved in the film whatsoever. Somebody who stops off at a Dunkin' Donuts to go get a cup of coffee has already put revenue into a city that they wouldn't have already, normally done had it not been for the fact that they were filming there.
Yeah.
So again, think about it that way. It lines everybody's pocket of being able to. It also builds goodwill within the city as well,
Yeah.
and camaraderie. So again, think about that before you are like, oh God, it's like they're blocking up the street for or it's like, what is that job? It's like, really, you're in the film industry, or you're in the television industry, or you're in the arts. It's like, really, you do theater. Okay, so when are you getting the actual job? That is the actual job. Because
Yes.
if it was not for their job, some of you may not have your job. So do try and think about that.
And think about that also the next time you're bored and you say, oh, well, let's turn on the TV, or let's go to a movie, or let's go see a play.
Yeah.
Remember, if the arts wasn't such a big industry, you wouldn't have that.
Yeah. Where would your next symphony concert come from?
Yeah.
Where would your next art gallery showing be? Because guess
When
what? It
would your
wouldn't.
next opera be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
England has the right idea.
yes, England does, and it's like, go England, and we'll be. It's like we'll be certainly coming there to visit you guys very soon, and I would love to hear from people in the UK of what they think of that idea. And we will be coming up in up and coming shows of talking to some British producers there and hearing what they have to say about this.
I have lots of phone numbers now.
Indeed. So, which brings us also to our double next topic, because they actually run as a segue into one another. There are two people who it's like are very influential in terms of being part of Netflix. One of them being this man named Ted Sarandos. Now, there was an article that came out that today that has Netflix Ted Sarandos rescued or ruined Hollywood. Interesting how they blame how they come around to digital in that. And what they say is the soft-spoken man Ted Sarandos makes a lot of thunderous news. He just consider the headlines he generated last week alone with the secession of game-changing deals. Chief Content Officer of Netflix stole Shonda Rhimes from ABC. It's like,
Yes.
so what they're asking is that essentially in this article is, do we feel that places like streaming online has actually taken away from the TV platform? Well, now this brings me to a very interesting segue of that.
A
There's room,
segue within a segue.
yes,
Wow.
there's room for all in terms of platforming. There, it's one. It's not one particular industry. It's a multiple of particular industries that we would be looking at. So when you were thinking about it in terms of TV series, with the light of so much programming coming on, it's like Netflix and stuff do not do a lot of censorship. Television is also starting to ease up on their censorship, but in a slower manner. Some
Yeah.
episodes of shows that they want to do are on risky air subjects and more prevalent subjects. Well, in answer to that question, it's like it's a benefit to be on multiple kinds of stations. They're not saying that they are not giving rights to the regular station. She's saying that she wants to work with Netflix on her show Jupiter's Legacy and Huck. Now, Disney. One of the things that it was really nice to hear from them was an interview on TED Talks. Is the fact that it's like, one of the things that Netflix had said is they're not really concerned about Disney coming up with a channel of their very own.
Yeah.
They just do what they do because it's like they have the most they have a lot of diverse programming. They're not worried about the Hulus and the Amazons and all of that. They're just doing what they do. And they're quite happy with that.
Well, and I've noticed that they tend to be the forerunner I mean, Netflix was doing original programming before Amazon or Hulu. Now,
Yeah.
Hulu was hawking some shows as being Hulu exclusives, but they were shows that were imported from other countries, like from England and Ireland and stuff. They were not shows that Hulu was producing at the time. Now Hulu was starting to produce their own shows. But
Hmm.
Netflix started the process, and everybody's falling into line behind them.
Yes. And like I said, in terms of that, it's like also multiple choices and stuff like that. So I mean, honestly, it's like it's basically a lot of interesting information that is coming up with that.
Yeah,
And you know what? Netflix is an interesting alternative for people who want different kinds of programming. And I'm not saying that, we're all going to switch to streaming. By all means, no. There will always be it's like mainstream TV. But the thing is that mainstream TV does not take as many risks on it as Netflix and other companies do in terms of their of content. They also, if with a television program on TV, if you're not getting the ratings, automatically they just chop you right off.
yeah,
Netflix allows you to binge watch, and if it doesn't have the ratings, it won't renew it you for another year. But at least it lets you play out the episodes you got.
yeah. I was always so amazed. Many years back, CBS did a TV series version of The Paper Chase
Hmm.
and got John Houseman, who starred in the movie, to star in the series. This was a huge coup.
Yes.
It didn't attract an audience. I believe they aired only 8 episodes, even though they had like 16 filmed.
Yep.
And it's like, you've already filmed the episodes. Why not show them? Because, there were some people who were watching it. I know I was.
Hmm.
It just, it makes no sense to me that you would film the episodes. I mean, my God, it's gotten to the point now where at least once or twice a year, a show will have its premiere episode and get canceled.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't even give it a chance.
Yeah. You didn't even let it build an audience. You just
Yeah,
naturally presumed that the audience did not like it, and therefore it had to go.
yeah.
Much like Finding Olaf is once again left us.
Oh, yes, he left us a while ago.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think he stubbed his toe or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's like
But
one of the things that people don't realize is that, look, you know what? You need to give a show at least a season to see if things get heated up with people, if people like it or don't like it.
yeah,
So,
it may surprise some people to know that the first episode of All in the Family didn't get that good of ratings.
yeah, they were going to cancel 90210 after a first few episodes.
Yeah,
There's a lot of times that, you know what, you get off to a very, what I'll call it, slow start, but you slowly gain an audience as they see the quality going up and up and up.
yes. I remember watching the first episode of All in the Family, and at that point in time, I had never seen anything so daring and funny on television. And as I'm laughing my butt off, my parents are downstairs going, "Will you settle down? Nothing's that funny." And I'm going, "This is." And I made them watch the show the following week. And after that, they were hooked too. It's just, but it took a few episodes to find the audience because,
Yeah.
your initial reaction is this is a guy who is a bigot, who uses bigoted language. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, the show would not last a week today. It'd be, oh my God, it's too politically incorrect.
Yeah. They say today, in today's day and age, that we are, far too, jaded to be excited by that and be excited by the controversial topics.
Yeah.
And they would dismiss it. But this is also why Netflix also fills in a niche for a lot of audiences, because there's a lot of shows that the networks automatically have sat there and said, go, meh, not really interested. I don't think that there'll be an audience for it. They fill in this niche.
Yeah. I imagine that the networks probably turned down Ashton Kutcher's new series, The Ranch, and they're filming season 4 of it now.
Mhm.
Because, yes, people did want to watch it. The
Yeah.
networks were wrong. And I imagine there's a number of network executives who are either kicking themselves or sitting on the curb with their desk stuff in a box going, what happened?
Yeah. It's like, and this is why, in terms of that, we really, really do have to look at this from a much more deft hand of, was Shonda Rhimes lured away? No. She probably had a show that it's like would have been sanitized by the networks.
Yeah.
Or was rejected by the networks and figured, you know what, Netflix might be the place to put the platform of my works.
Yep.
For this particular series. It's possible.
And who knows, if she's happy with Netflix, she may take her shows that are currently on ABC and say bye-bye.
And she might, because that's another thing that a lot of people have talked about is the sanitizing of it. It's like, if an episode's too controversial, or also again, another thing is that Netflix doesn't preempt their shows with a presidential discussion.
Yeah.
Which is very attractive to a lot of us who don't want to hear the presidential discussions. But that's besides the point.
In all fairness, I don't care who the president is. I don't want him interrupting my television show.
Thank you. Exactly. I do not want the president, no matter who they are, including this clown, including, yes, interrupting my show, or it's like, I'm in the middle of like, this incredibly dramatic scene, and it's like, we're interrupting this program for the State of the Union address. It's like, no, damn you. President can speak later. Tell him to shut up now. Have my program.
He's news. Tell him to preempt the news.
Yes. It's like, want to make statements after midnight.
Yeah.
When you're sitting on the potty and twittering and all that, you can interrupt that show.
Yeah. And that doesn't even bother me as much as after his interruption, okay, maybe he just had something to say and it was only like 10 minutes. Okay. That's all well and good. But then when they go back, the first thing they do is show all the commercials that would have been shown while he was on the air. So you're sitting through another 5 minutes of commercials and then popping in the middle of a scene. It's like, come on.
Exactly.
And this is why people say, you know what? I'll wait till it's on Netflix. Or I'll watch it tomorrow on Hulu, where I can see the whole episode without commercials. You can do that on Hulu, folks. It's an extra $4.99, but trust me, it's worth every penny. Take it from a guy who hates commercials.
Yep. And it's like, oh my goodness. You definitely want to talk about that in terms of, commercials are bad. Another thing is Netflix, reasonably no commercials on their shows.
Yeah.
If I've missed a season or I missed an episode, I can always go back, much like on demand. But I don't have to wait for it to buffer up to do that.
Yeah.
I can just go, whoo, look at that episode. So, yes.
Although, to be fair, now Netflix has gotten better with the buffering. I mean, I know
Yes.
the first couple of years, Netflix was an absolute nightmare. You'd get like 2 minutes of show and then 3 minutes of buffering. Yeah, it was horrible. They didn't have enough bandwidth to cover the number of people that signed up for it right away. They expanded much faster than they thought they would.
Yes.
And they got a bad reputation from that.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're the leaders.
Yes, and it's like, really, people are playing catch up with them.
Yeah. And just how much of a leader they are is what segues into the third story of the night.
Yes, our third story, and this one just popping in right after it. Now, this story was brought on yesterday, and there's a response story to it today. Netflix co-founder Moviepass will now let you see movies, see one movie per day in theaters for $10 a month. Now, one would think when they hear that article, fake news, not real story. It's an actual story, and it's actually true. There is this company called Moviepass that if you sign up with them, welcome back, Olaf.
Okay, it's like the Google Hangout gods are angry at me, but hopefully I have done the correct dance and they will let me stay now.
Either that or else it's going to rain.
Yes.
It wasn't the naked dance, was it?
I refuse to answer that on the. It's like that it might incriminate me.
Oh dear God.
So you're just in time to hear our discussion and our counter discussion of our majorly interesting third article dealing with Netflix co-founders. Moviepass will now let you see one movie per day in theaters for $10 a month. So Mitch Lowe, one of the co-founders of Netflix, has decided a new business model with Moviepass. The way that you have a subscription to Netflix, $10 a month, that
right.
You can see all the movies that you'd like on Netflix for $10 a month, that you can go to any AMC theater, to also Regal theaters, about 90% of theaters who will accept this Moviepass, that for $10 a month you can go in every day and go see a 2D movie.
Huh. Yeah, I saw that.
At any time.
It's like I saw something on that, and it's like that could be interesting, but I don't see that as being a big draw for the movie theaters unless they're doing it as a matinee. Is the only time you can go see it.
Nope.
No,
anytime.
It's a very big draw for the movie theaters because yes, they don't get the ticket, but we got to remember a lot of the ticket price goes to the producers anyway.
Well, yeah, that's true. No,
the movie theaters, movie theaters are getting all the concessions.
Right. Well, it's the same way. It's like drive-ins the same way. In other words, they don't make any money. They don't make anything off the gate. So yeah, I guess it is. The more people they can get in there, the more concessions they sell, the more money they're going to make. Yeah, that's true.
It brings to an interesting part of this on the upside of the argument. Let's argue both the upside and downside on this in an actual manner. Here's some of the upside to this. $10 a month. Well, if I'm going to go there, I can go to the movies every day for $10 a month, once a day, per person. I can see movies that I didn't normally want to see because I was like, I don't know whether I want to really pay $10, $15 to go in and see this movie, because I'm like, maybe on the bubble of wanting to see it. I might take a chance and want to see it. And it also is opening up the way that Netflix opens up to original content. It allows for original movie content to be able to be put up in the theaters. So it would actually open the game and stop locking the theaters every single night for a 50 version of Spider-Man Homecoming. For 50 screens of that. And it would maybe allow for other movies as well, so that, you know what, people might actually come and see it. And again, upside number 2, the concessions and popcorn people. Right. Instead of sneaking in food into the theater, and who hasn't done that? I haven't.
Not me.
No.
Never.
No. We never have done that.
That would be unethical.
Yes, that would be.
Actually, I mean, I actually don't, but I go to the drive-in.
Yes.
So, in other words, I don't, because the owner of the drive-in's a friend of mine. So, I don't
buy
sneak
the concessions.
In. I don't sneak in concessions. Now, a soft drink or something like that, I'll usually have one, or a drink of some sort. Soft drink or tea, I'll have that with me sometimes, but I still buy a drink at the concession stand.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was going to say that, I never do it because, my wife passed away and she was the one that had the big purse. So.
Yeah. And what I will say also on a positive side of that is a lot of theaters that would normally not have a lot of patrons come in at $10 a month will benefit from that position of the upside on it, because I mean, if I can't afford really to go to see all of the movies, sometimes I want to see like 5-6 movies that, it's like I didn't think I'd want to see them, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, oh my gosh, I get a chance to see them.
Right, because I mean, I'm doing it that way because, okay, when I go to the drive-in, of course I get to see 2 movies. So they're it's $11 for the 2 movies, so it's $5.50 a movie. And if you want to go see, if you're going to go see 6 movies, for me that's what it's like 60 God, my math, $63 to go see 6 movies. And if you do the indoor theaters, I mean, they can range anywhere from $8 to $15 per movie. So if you average it out to, again, you're going to spend $60 or $70 or more, $60 to $80 to see 6 movies. And like you said, if you can get this pass for $10 a month and go see as many movies as you want to, that leaves you can actually go, you can actually get concessions you can get the
you'll get the concessions at the concession stand.
You can get the big thing of popcorn instead of the little thing.
Yeah, get the garbage can size popcorn.
Right.
That's right.
And the large soda
and everything. Yes. Also, what it encourages you for those ones who have video games to play in their arcades.
Right.
Where they also make that money.
Yeah. And maybe you'll even spring for the nachos.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so, I mean, there is an upside to that. Also, another upside to it is the opportunity for movies that may not have been able to catch an audience to begin with because they're quote-unquote artistic films, or they're films that is like, for example, there's one that is coming out now that's called Ingrid Goes West. I've seen the previews for it. It looks interesting. I'm curious about it, but would it be my first go-to movie that I'd want to, jump and go, oh my God, it's like Ingrid Goes West is coming to the movie theater? No. I have a choice between that and The Kingsman, the second one. I'm going to The Kingsman, chances are. But if I have a movie pass like that, a movie pass place, I'm going to go see Ingrid Goes West also, because it's like, oh my God, it's not costing me any more than it did for me to see The Kingsman.
Right.
Pardon me, ma'am. Pardon me, no. There's something I just want to bring up about this, and I realize you're trying to make positive points and how wonderful this is, but now I'm a distributor / producer, and I make my money from ticket sales. How does this help me?
Well,
they're giving away free tickets.
Okay.
I don't get paid.
That's not true. See, now there's where it's one of those things of the way that we had talked about a little while back, a bulk model versus um, using large amounts. Large amounts, price of tickets. Unfortunately, a lot of people, because there are so many other platforms like Netflix, like other ones that they can watch a movie on, movie ticket sales have gone down anyways in terms of prices in box office in recent years, and people showing up at the movies. They're like, unless it's a very specialized kind of movie theater like the Alamo. The Alamo is a perfect example. That you would want to pay more for because it's a night out. It's dinner, it's a movie, it's comfortable seating. You're going to want to pay for that experience. It's like literally it feels like a night in the theater only with a movie screen. And no live action, unfortunately, which I do really love the theater much more, but that's besides the point. The point is that if you're going to do a movie that way, it's an event, it's a night out, it's a full-on event, just like the drive-in. The drive-in is great because it has its own experience with
Right.
it. We love the concession stand there and the little commercials with the dancing hot dog that jumps into the bun and
Right.
all of that. It's like it was a lifetime and a lifestyle experience. Those are things that it's like our specialties. It's the other part that isn't the specialty. And that's I have 2 hours of time to kill between things. I want to go and see something. Oh God, I'm paying $15 to go and see it. Might turn somebody away, as opposed to going, hey, you know what? I got this movie pass. I'll take a chance and go and see this movie.
Right.
Have butts on seats. Again, it's about butts on seats, and as a distributor, they want the more butts on seats, and the $10 that one person is paying for that for one movie as opposed to another movie, they're distributing that movie anyways. They're going to be getting it from secondary revenue streams also, like the Netflix, like the Hulus, like the Amazons, like the DVD markets, and all the ancillary markets, and the television markets. So they're not really losing by having more people see it. There's actually chances are doubling up on them, that people will go, hey, I saw that movie and it was really, really cool. Well, why don't I just buy it on DVD?
Exactly. And also, in other words, you go see the movie, you've got this subscription and you're getting all the movies for $10 a month. You go see it, and then next day you go to work and, oh man, I went and saw this movie and it was a great movie. You should go see it. Well, chances are, they're going to mention that subscription thing, but if you mention the $10 a month subscription thing to 10 people that you work with, one or two may go get this subscription, but the majority of them, they're like, well, I don't go to the movies that often, and
They'll go and see just that actual one film.
it's like they're like, oh, I don't go that often. It's like, why do I want to pay $10 a month if that's going to cost me so much a year to have that subscription, and I only see a couple of movies a year, so it's not worth it. It's not worth it to me. Now, people, somebody like me or you guys, and that like want to go to the movies a lot or go quite frequently. Yeah, it would save me money, but.
Well, and that's where the argument comes in, is that this would be the avid moviegoer, that it's like, would you rather that people spend $10 a month and go ahead and do that, or and be able to go and see multiple movies, or never have your movie seen because you're also competing against other movies that are taking your $30?
Right. Well, like if I could take that pass and use it at the drive-in,
Yeah.
I'd be in heaven, because I mean I've been every weekend for the last 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean if it would work if I could use it at the drive-in, by golly, I would.
You can find out.
In a heartbeat, I would do it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, another reason that the subscription model would work. People who didn't think that they wanted to go back to the movie theater, it's like they would tempt them to want to at least see it in a theatrical form.
Yeah, and this is something that should be brought up. Um, there's a reason why movie theaters exist. There's a reason why you don't want to wait for it to come on television.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know how many times I have watched Casablanca in my life. It is my favorite movie. I can pretty much do the dialogue from it. I've seen it probably 100 times. Last year, I got a chance to go see it in a movie theater on a movie screen. And oh my God, it was like seeing it for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Believe
that
me, people,
exciting.
yeah, it's a huge difference from watching it, even if you have a big screen TV, which I do.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
it doesn't movies that you watch on TV, like your big screen TV, even if you've got the if you even if you've got a 70-inch flat screen, when you see it on a 90-foot screen, it's 90 or 100-foot screen, you know 60 feet tall and 100 feet wide.
Hmm.
It's a whole different experience.
It is. It's like having a night and day kind of thing. But it's like one of the things that was also interesting about that is about 60%, I believe that they said, or I could be quoting that wrong, are millennials that don't that would normally just either pirate it, download it, it's like stream it on Netflix, other platforms. They'll actually go now to the theater to go see it
Right.
because it is a reasonable rate.
Right, exactly. And I was saying, yeah, because they could have, like I said, they could have go to the movies every weekend if they wanted to with the subscription. So, yeah, that's something I didn't in the beginning I didn't think of as like on how that would work. But yeah, it that would be a great thing.
Well,
Well,
I would certainly be tempted by something like this because I'm the type of guy I could go to the movies every day,
yeah.
except now I can't because I have a job.
Yeah, and this mean boss who like tells him every single day that he has to be at work.
Yeah,
Hmm. Well, see, that's what I love about the drive-in. I go on Sunday nights, and it's not as crowded, um, because most everybody says, "Oh, I'd love to go," but it's like I'd love to go, but I have to work.
Yeah.
Well, most times I guess and there's people go to when they go, it's like because they paid for two movies, they feel like to get their money's worth, they're going to stay for both movies. But the movie they want to watch comes on first, and if you had this pass and it would work it's like it work at the drive-in, you could say, "Oh, well, I can go watch this movie and it'll be over with by 11 o'clock.
Hmm.
I can be home and in bed by midnight, so I can go to the movie on Sunday night when it's less crowded."
Yep.
yeah.
Which brings there also a very interesting thing to the other side of the thing, which is a darker side, is the counter argument to exactly what we were saying. Um, One of the things that is a article that just came up on today's news. AMC theaters threaten legal action against Moviepass, a subscription-based service in the cinema goer hours after the company announced it allows customers to see a movie a day for less than $10 a month. In a statement that the World exhibitors dismissed Moviepass as a small fringe player and said that the model is not the best interest of moviegoers, movie theaters, or movie studios. It's stuck by it's hit hard recent weeks after it released a disappointing quarterly earnings and lowered the projections of 2017. The summer box office is in a slump, and the stream of film flops have dragged from the exhibition stocks. Shares of AMC took a beating on Tuesday following MoviePass's announcement. Now, there's your downside. Here's the interesting part of our downside, of our upside of our argument,
Right.
which is talking about are they taking a bloodbath on allowing it? And it says pros and cons of very interesting that there's another article that goes along with that. It's the what is Moviepass pros and cons of $10 unlimited films. Well, let's talk about some of these. We've talked about a lot of the pros.
Yeah.
And they do weigh in on this. And they're saying here in terms of advantages that it's actually a great deal. Ticket prices for movies are only rising. So until Tuesday's announcement, Moviepass offered essentially the same plan as it does now. But for $50 a person, and now it's offering it for $10 a person. Drawback, no 3D or IMAX. These are only 2D films that you're able to see. So if you will have to pay extra for the 3D screen as well as also for IMAX. Which, again, you know what? I don't see that as a really downside because let me think. If I'm paying a $4 difference, I'm not really having a downside.
Yeah.
No, I don't see a downside to. I mean, to say you could take the Moviepass and it goes for any movie. When you get to the 3D and the IMAX, those are a different animal when it comes to viewing a picture. There's more involved than a regular 2D picture. So, like I said, I wouldn't. I mean, it might actually get me to actually go to one of the IMAX theaters or one of the or a 3D showing of something. If it costs me $2 or $4 to go see it, there's like I said, more of a chance that
I'll see it in 3D.
I'll see it in 3D for $4 versus the $15 it was going to cost me.
Yeah. One of the other advantages that they're saying is that there's no blackout date. So yeah, it's all year round, and you must buy it on site. So when you buy those tickets through weeks in advance, you can't do that. You have to buy it on site at the showtime, and that's fine. You're showing them. It's like I go to the box office. I go there. I show my Regal card at the box office, or I'll show my AMC card or my Cinema card or anything like that. I'm really not seeing again that is a downside to it.
No, because that means you don't have to. If you had to, pre-order your ticket or something, or get the coupon or something.
Yeah.
And let's say something happened that you couldn't make it that night for that Friday night at the 7:00 showing of it. Like, well, I just lost that. So, I don't see that wouldn't be a downside.
And they say, like, to select the showtime, you have to check in on the app, which only works with 100 yards of the location, and it makes it tough to get tickets ahead of time. Well, no, it's like usually when I want to go that time.
Right.
And I want to go. I don't want to. Sometimes I don't want to book it weeks in advance.
Right.
I don't have the time weeks in advance to know whether I can or cannot make it.
Right.
Another one that they say is available in most theaters, even indie theaters. So places like including AMC, Regal, Cinemas, Cinemark, also in smaller houses like the IFC in New York and Quentin Tarantino's New Beverly Hills for Angelino's. It's like so basically they're saying that a lot of theaters will provide this Moviepass. And they're saying, like, there's no premium theaters like ArcLight or Landmark or Alamo that does it, because the reason why you wouldn't want it in any of those theaters, and I'll be honest with you, it's an experience. It's a different kind of experience. When you go to the Alamo, you go to ArcLight, you go to Silverlight theaters, you go to any of them, it's like all of them, they are a different kind of experience. You're not going there to only have a movie. You're going there to have dinner and a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You're there for an evening out experience. This isn't I'm going there because, I want to see only the movie. Right. You're going there to have a nice dinner and a sit-down conversation and have some and pull into these nice chairs that recline back, and you want to see the nice large screen, and you want these ninja waiters who come in there and take your order, and all of a sudden food pops up in front of you. You're not there for a concession stand. You're not there. It's like they make their money off of the dinner menus, and really the dinner menus are about as expensive as if you were to go to a restaurant prior to the show, and they're always giving really great deals with it.
Well, but like I said, that goes to say. I mean, it goes along to the saying of, like, say, the like the 3D or the IMAX.
Yeah.
Like you say, those are a different type of theater.
Yes.
It's not just popcorn in a movie. It's a dinner in a movie. So
yes.
paying extra or paying for your dinner. Okay, you get to see the movie, with this pass, but you have to pay for your dinner. I'm still good with that.
Yeah, well, and it's like also the fact that these are like places like these are not included in there because it's a completely different experience. It's
right.
An interactive experience theater where you are having dinner in a movie as opposed to just going in to see the movie.
Exactly.
It's like you're talking about an apples and oranges situation. You go to the drive-in because it's the idea of sitting in the car, having that the two movies for the price of one, being able to see it for a certain price, and the whole idea of the concessions and the pop and all of that stuff. It's like, and you can bring it into your car and you can snuggle with the loved ones in your car and stuff like that to see your movie, or not see your movie in some cases. But we're not going there. We will not tell you how many babies have been made in a drive-in movie theater.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not going there. The point is that you can sit in your car, watch a movie. That's an experience. You go to places like Alamo, Silverlight, all of those, because you're going there for the experience of having dinner in a movie. A more theatrical experience without having a live theatrical show in front of you. It's like, as I said, it's a higher experience. A reason you would go to an AMC theater or a Regal theater or anything like that, you want to just see a really great movie. You don't want to spend a whole hell of a lot. You don't have a whole heck of a lot of time. You know that it's a really great local cinema that you want to support the local community. You're not ready to pay that. And one of the advantages that also they had not mentioned on here is then you're throwing another chunk into the piracy industry. You're throwing another chip into it, of chipping against it, because if I can afford a movie at $10 a month and I can see it one every single solitary day, why do I need to pirate it?
Right.
And I can see and I get original movies too, and different other programmings, and the really super popular ones. And if I want to see, I don't know, Wonder Woman 5,000 times, I can go every single day, and 365 days that it's in the theater, and go see it.
Yeah, because like there are movies I'd love to see more than once, but like I'm not going unless it happens to be playing second. I'll wait for it to come, hit the once it finally gets through and it starts being when you can see it for free, then I'll watch it again.
Another advantage that they're saying is your conscience is clean. The company reports that it works in buying the theater tickets for its subscribers directly from the exhibitor at whatever price they offer. That means that the Moviepass is operating at a loss. So they're actually buying the tickets up for you. So they're actually paying that. So the distributor is actually getting it through Moviepass. Their percentage. So we've just knocked off one of the disadvantages.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they're going to go out of business.
Yeah, and the idea of fear of ripping off your local indie movie house, feel free to proceed, sans guilt with this. Another, though, that they call drawback, solo ticket buyers. Moviepass works for one loaner. Since you're able to buy only one ticket, So if you're seeing a movie in large groups, everybody's got to have a Moviepass. Even 2 Moviepass users can't buy tickets in one order. So you can't use it. In other words, basically, you have to phone in, then your friend has to phone in to do it. But it's like, you can't use the same phone number. Well, you can't do that necessarily anyways on some other things.
Right.
So, oh my God, you have to make an extra phone call? Oh no, what has the world come to?
It's
You have to communicate twice.
That's just insanity.
I know, sometimes 3 times. Oh my God.
So, okay.
It's all a plot by T-Mobile.
Yes, it is.
It's a T-Mobile plot. Oh my gosh. You heard it. You heard it here live on Movietime. It's a T-Mobile plot.
Yes. Along with their crappy network.
Okay, so now,
if it really was a T-Mobile plot, it wouldn't work because you wouldn't get.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, exactly. Or it'd be cut off. Like the movie would halfway through the movie cut off, and go, "Whoops, we do." Yeah, okay. So another advantage to it is it says it tracks your progress. Basically, it's going to suggest to you movies that would be something of your interest.
Mm-hmm.
OMG. The app can be buggy. Well, it's like since it requires your phone to use the location, unless you're using T-Mobile, and then you're guaranteed it can freeze if the reception in the theater is bad. So you probably won't be able to be a minor nuisance, but it's something to consider.
Let's get back to this. It tracks what you watch, so it can make suggestions.
Yeah.
Is that like how Netflix does it? I watch one horror movie and I go on the next day, and it's like, well, because you watched this horror movie, you want to watch these 500 other horror movies.
Yes.
No, I want to watch a comedy. No, you don't. You want to watch a horror movie.
Yeah,
right.
No, Netflix doesn't. Netflix makes suggestions, and you know what? Sometimes the suggestions that they make are totally awesome. Others of them, it's like, oh my God, what the hell were you thinking? But at least they did make suggestions.
Right.
So to me, I find that actually a worthy thing. And they're saying a bonus, a magic debit card. Maybe you're easily amused by technological advances, but when you sign up for Moviepass, you're mailed a debit card. When you purchase your movie ticket at the theater, your personal card is automatically loaded to the precise amount that you need to buy the tickets. Come on, admit it, that's pretty cool. Well, okay. In that sense, it's kind of nice to be able to do that. I will honestly admit. It's like that you have your card already loaded with the amount from the movie ticket because you signed up on the app.
Okay. There's a disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's a disadvantage because see it's like the drive-in doesn't take debit cards or anything at the gate. They take cash only. Now in the concession stand you can use debit card or credit card, but for the gate it's cash only.
Yep. Well, and so again, it's one of those things of it's a possibility, but it loads it up like a debit card too. And yes, it's like for drive-ins, it's a cash only, but that's again a specialized experience drive-in where a regular movie theater do take debit card. Does take debit card. My goodness, tonight my English is just horrid. Do take debit card. Sure. For all of us who are grammatically challenged tonight, it do take credit card.
It do take my credit card. Yep, it do.
Actually, I'm. There is one movie theater in Tamarack that does not take credit cards.
Yes.
Or debit cards. It is a cash-only movie theater.
Yep.
For concessions and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And again, when you know what theater you're going to, you know what the actions are. by having this app, you're obviously going to be using only the theaters that take this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna, switch your luck and go to that theater or to the Alamo and go, hey, can I use this here? No. Chances are no. No, I'm sorry, you're not going to. But you know what? Regal, find that also a different kind of perk, because with the Regal Cinema Card, I like some of the perks that they have, but some of the perks, it feels like as though I will be collecting for years air miles before I will ever get the perk.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest we've come is like a small popcorn, and honestly, it's like I do like the small popcorn. And I'm wondering if it works in concession with those things. Like, so when I go there and I do my Moviepass, do I show them my Regal card too and get my points on the Regal card to, do that?
That's a fair question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would be really happy that it'd be like, woo, I get my free popcorn, or woo, I get my free candy, or I get my free soda.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like inquiring minds want to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what it also does is it also encourages me then to go more often, because then I'll put on more Regal points. I put on more Regal points, I get some of that swag that I would have either had to wait 50 years till I got enough points for it, or I accumulate it 5 times faster.
Those points do expire after a while.
Yes. So there you go. It's like we have given you 3 different interesting articles, actually 5 different interesting articles tonight, for the price of 3.
And you people don't think this show is a bargain.
Yep. So, which brings us to the closing of this. Arpo, how do they get you in social media?
Well, if they want to be social, they can get me on Facebook. If they want to talk business, they can get me on LinkedIn. They just want to talk. Hey, you can Skype me. I like the chat. But please, make sure you mention that you're a fan of Movietime, because I have way too many Armenian women trying to marry me. And now I'm starting to get the robots that, hey, let's have some fun. I'll give you the website and you can watch me on my private cam and tell me what to do. And, oh, don't worry, it's free. They just need your credit card number to prove you're over 18.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
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 And unfortunately, it's like there's those back page people, so yeah.
Yeah.
And Olaf, how do they get you and stalk you in social media?
Well, you can stalk me on both Facebook and Twitter at Olaf Barbosa, but just don't stalk too close, because I do get nervous and I do have an itchy trigger finger.
And also for me, you can get me on www.pastlivesproductionsinc.net. You can also get me on LinkedIn, Bizipedia, on also Facebook, on Twitter, apparently at Snodda Grayson, and at Movietime Indie. And I think that they also have now one for at Past Lives Productions Inc. So I'm going to guess that, and so you can actually now get me on a third way to stalk me. And as I say, if you, I have 4 pages of footprint, so if you can't find me, you're really not stalking me hard enough. As a great final announcement for all of you, we have now officially can announce we have got a ringing endorsement from the Central Missouri Coalition Against Human Trafficking. So please do check out that website on www.pastlivesproductionsinc.net and look forward to the announcements dealing with our fundraiser and crowdfundings, as well as also other things as well that are coming up. So yes, thank you, CAST. Thank you, Central Missouri Coalition Against Human Trafficking. Thank you, Polaris Project. You all are wonderful. And thank you, We Are Free.
Aye, aye.
So with that being said, we will all see you on a Friday show.
Drive carefully, folks.